Good morning, everyone. Wish you a very, very happy Friday. I hope that you all are doing wonderful. And today I am excited because Shaheen is going to join me for this Instagram live. And hi, everyone. Waving hi to all of you. Thank you for joining. It's going to be a great conversation. And I do believe that, when health practitioners of all the different modalities, practices, when we come together to take care of our patients, that goes a long way. So, personally, I am Dr. Meghna Thakur, and I'm the founder of Feel Your Best Self Naturopathic Medicine. And Shaheen is a physical therapist here in Chandler, and she has her own practice. So I'm so excited to have her join me.
Hello.
Hi, Shaheen.
Hey, how are you?
I am doing great. Thank you so much. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I'm so excited that you're here today. And I was just, telling the viewers that it is so nice when health practitioners from, different fields kind of come together to take care of patients, that gives them like a holistic approach
Yeah.
and can help them in so many ways. So I am so excited that you are here.
Thank
And I would like to tell everyone who you are. So Shaheen Siddhique is Crossroad Orthopedic Physical Therapy's leading physician. That is her practice. And she loves to help athletes and active adults get back to their normal lives, doing the things that they love to do. And in her practice, she also helps people with prevention, rehabilitation, and helping them with chronic conditions and injuries. So can't wait to hear all about it from you today, Shaheen. So, before we get into today's topic, I would love to hear um, more about you. Where are you from? And, why do you do what you do today? So
Yeah.
let's hear
Sure.
it from you.
Sure. Well, originally we're from India, my family is, and but I was born and raised in Dallas, Texas. After I come from a big family, so I feel very blessed for that. After traveling a bit, we settled here in Arizona, in Chandler, Arizona. So we've been here now for about almost 11 years. Um, and yeah, now we have 4 kids and just keep active. And we love anything, love to travel, love being outdoors, anything active like that. Yeah, as far as why I do what I do, well, I've been a physical therapist for 17 years, and for the first about 13 years of my practice, I worked in the large physical therapy mill settings. So I don't know if you're familiar with those type of settings, but it's where you end up seeing like 4 people per hour. So it's kind of like you're just shuffling through, and I just felt that I wasn't able to spend enough time with each patient. So about almost 3.5, 4 years ago, it will be 4 years in November actually. I started my own practice, and now I just treat one person per hour, and it's better because I can spend more time with them and get them to their goals faster because it's more quality time spent. So yeah, I love what I do, and I just want to spread the word about preventing pain prevention and get people off pain medications because that's a big problem in our world today. So yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that, Shaheen. And you are so right. First of all, I have to say you have such a beautiful family. I've seen your picture on the Okotio Living magazine with you know, your husband and your four beautiful children.
Thank
That's amazing. And finding this balance where, you're raising four wonderful children and you are owning your own practice and doing everything that you do. So, congratulations to you.
you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I completely understand, coming from like so many years of seeing like four patients in an hour. And I was doing the exact same thing till recently. I started my own practice where I can schedule an hour with each person. That just gives me so much more satisfaction. The patient is so much more happier as well. And I think the treatment outcomes become much better because we are able to spend that kind of time and
Uh,
address everything. So that is just wonderful. And, today our topic is going to be 5 tips to prevent aches and pains while working from home. So I know all of us, have been homebound for the last 6 months and just, working from home, like maybe not having the ergonomics like set up really well, or like like sleeping and being with your laptop, or maybe lack of movement, whatever it can be, can cause so many problems and pains and aches and all of that. So nobody better than you, Shaheen, to help us, and can't wait to hear your 5 tips about this.
sure, sure. So yeah, as you said, and the funny thing is, I'm not funny, but I've been seeing a lot of people complaining of neck pain, shoulder, low back pain, and more so in the past 6 months. Really, that's crept up on them, and it's from that we're sitting more and not moving enough, and the lack of poor setup is a big factor too. So yeah, so let's see. So I'll kind of just jump in and start with the tips. And so a little bit of background on why people are ending up with neck pain and shoulder pain, because what happens when you're sitting at a computer. So I'm going to demonstrate in a minute, but when you're sitting at a computer and your head, we tend to slump forward, and as your head juts forward, it starts to pull on those muscles in your neck, and what happens over time is that they become weakened and too stretched out, so that can cause pain and also headaches. And then as we go more forward, your chest muscles can become tight, and that can start impinging your shoulders. So the first tip is to just try to start with a good work setup. And I'm going to try to demonstrate here. So I'm going to move my camera a little bit here. So hopefully I'm not getting too cut off.
No, you're good. And thank you so much for the demonstration as well. That really helps. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. So that's my laptop here. And so the first thing is trying to sit up nice and tall in a good posture. So I like to use like a lumbar pillow right behind my back. So you place it underneath your shoulder blades, and then
Okay.
you can scoot up as far as you can comfortably to the desk. And then, so that just reminds you to be in a good posture, and you know, you're more likely to sit up nice and tall. And then as far as your arms and not having your shoulders lean forward, you want to try to keep your elbows at about 90 degrees. It's not easy on all desks, but you do your best and start out in a pretty good position. And then the last piece is trying to make your screen like eye level. So if you're on a laptop, because if it's too low, then again you're going to get that neck flexion, and that over time can cause pain. So what I like to do is put like a book underneath the desk, or sorry, the laptop, and that just elevates it to allow you to see a little bit more eye level. So those are a few things that you can do pretty easily, and you don't have to have a fancy pillow. I mean, these are awesome, but you can also just use like a rolled up towel. or any pillow, and you just want to have that extra support. So, so that's kind of the first little tip. Um, and then again, you know, just starting with good posture is the other one. So, were you gonna say something? Sorry.
No, I was saying that's great. The practical tips like being at home, if you don't have a towel, like if you just put a pillow behind you. I mean, what I'm saying is if the pillow is not there, you can just use a towel
Yeah,
or, great thing to remind, like to stay like at eye level,
yeah,
because you're right, this is such a common thing
yeah,
that we do, and yeah,
yeah.
causes a lot of the
I
neck pain.
kids, but my kids are already complaining of neck pain, and and it's just it's not a great scenario, you know. So it's important to have them move as well. And then the next thing is just, again, like I said, just trying to start out with a good posture. So nice and tall. And then what I like to have people do is called a postural reset. So basically, you're gonna every couple hours or so, you want to try to get a little bit of movement in. So to reset your posture, what you'll do is a chin tuck. So I know it looks kind of funny, but it's a really great exercise. And you're just basically making a double chin, and you're pulling your chin back like that. So
Okay.
you can do that like 10 times per hour. And that basically just gives your spine a reminder to sit up nice and tall as well. Um, and then from there, getting a little bit of like extension this way, so you can like lean back. And if you do that, you know, 5, 10 repetitions, it really helps to open up your chest muscles and gets a little bit of that mid back mobility that we mostly lack. So that's to feel good.
Yes, I really do.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
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 yeah. It's so easy for me to like, like put my shoulders down and,
yeah.
the posture. So this is a great reminder. So tuck in your chin and then
And
do
and
that. Yeah.
yeah. And then one more is just kind of squeezing your shoulder blades back together. So you're gonna squeeze, and you want to think about pinching a pencil between your shoulder blades. So because those muscles back there, they become they're the ones that get weakened over time. So those are three little moves that you can do throughout the day to just to reset your posture, and then you won't, you know, you won't end up kind of slumped over. So yeah,
Great. Great. Those are great tips, Shaheen. Thank you.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
The other one is I like to ask people to set a timer like on their phone or whatever to make sure you get up every 30 minutes or so. So just standing up from your desk and walking around is really important because the discs in our spine, they,
I'll be right back. You may
yeah,
continue, Shaheen. Somebody's knocking on my
no,
door.
um, so the discs in your spine get compressed with too much spitting, my bad. Um, so getting up every hour is really important for you to take pressure off of those discs. So set a timer on your phone, and that can help a ton. So I'm gonna wait and talk about the last tip because Dr. Megna can help us out too with that. Um, see, anybody have any questions so far? So, all right. So the last tip, I'll kind of just jump into it, is going to be really important to have good hydration and nutrition. And you might not think that this matters in your overall aches and pains, but the more hydrated your joints are, and the less inflammatory foods you are eating, the more mobile your joints will be, and you'll just move better and feel better overall. It's sometimes hard to remember to drink all, you know, water throughout the day or keep hydrated, but it's important to do that. So just fill up a big bottle and try to sip it throughout the day to keep things mobile and your joints fluid. So yeah, let's see here. You're welcome. No problem, guys. I hope it's helpful. Oh, wrist stretches. Okay, yeah, Ruchi, that's a good question. So for your wrist, I'm Ruchi asked about wrist stretches, so I'm going to show real quick. Um, because the computer, let's show you real quick. When you're typing a lot, you end up in this position. So these muscles get really tight and can get irritated. So a really easy wrist stretch would be to just stretch out your arm this way and pull downward like that. So that should feel pretty good. And then, holding it for about 20 to 30 seconds is a good amount of time as well. So yeah, keeping those, and then just really, there's no perfect posture, but the key is just changing up your position every so often. So like every hour or so, like I said, that's the key. And then Dr. Meghna, I was saying my last tip was just advising people to make sure they stay hydrated and have good good nutrition. So anti-inflammatory foods are helpful for your joints, I was saying. So maybe, you can touch on that too, I'm sure. But I find a difference with that for sure.
Absolutely. Yes, yes. For sure. Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah. And I apologize. I had to run out because, an unexpected person, you know how it is at work. People will come and
Yeah.
deliver things. But
Yeah.
you know what got delivered are some samples of, this is like an impromptu thing, but
Oh,
I wonder if you've had any success with this. This is the CBD infused topical, like a roll on
oh,
and a tincture to use
yeah.
because they say that this is good for like, pain and sleep.
Yeah.
So have you used this in
I,
your
I've not,
practice?
but I've heard good things about it from my patients actually. So they find help with it for sure. I end up using just when I do work on people, I'll use some of the I have this doTERRA product that it's called Deep Blue that smells really good. And it's a nice pain reliever, but yeah, but I've heard good things.
That's that's wonderful. So these are great practical tips too, for
Yeah.
people like the doTERRA is an essential oils company here, and there are other companies too, but the Deep Blue. So there's one oil that I have used, Shaheen. It's the frankincense. Maybe it's a part of the Deep Blue. I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but so last year, I had like very bad shoulder pain, and then it was actually, I was diagnosed with the frozen shoulder.
Okay.
So the physical therapy, was helpful
Yeah.
to me. And I want to say, like, I just discovered that there are so many tools in your toolbox,
Yeah.
just like I feel like I have so many different things to pick and choose. But when
Yeah.
I went to a physical therapy practice, I saw like they did so many different things, like including hydrotherapy to like, different things that they use besides the exercising. So there is so much that you can offer. So I want to ask you, like, what population do you like mostly work with, and who can come to you for help?
Yeah, sure. So mostly it's adults and athletes. I'm late, a lot of women, so a lot of busy moms, who may not have been able to take care of themselves in the past and end up with chronic back pain, um, or any types of aches and pains. But those would be kind of who I treat. And yeah, so and lately, like I said, I've been seeing more women for some reason. I guess now we have a little bit more time to take, with the pandemic, maybe a little bit of time to slow down and take care of ourselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. We've had that time to focus on ourselves, take care of ourselves. And because once we feel better, then we can serve better as well, right? So, yeah. So that's great. And then, what are usually the causes of the back pain and, how do you help them?
Yeah, sure. So, well, there's a lot of causes, but so could be from an injury, like an old injury, if somebody, bent while lifting something heavy, that's a common one. Sometimes it's just over time when we don't preventatively strengthen our low back and core muscles. Just over time, things kind of get weak and it causes pain. So it can be just kind of a buildup of things, and that's usually what I see. And then when they come to me, what I do is after an assessment and figuring out what the root cause might be, um, a lot of the causes might be like disc bulge or herniation, which are not scary things. They're very treatable. Non-surgically, they're very treatable. There's like stenosis, a lot of different things. But then what I do is I'll treat them manually, so hands-on treatment, which includes like mobilizing any stiff joints, so getting in there and working on them. And then I sometimes do dry needling, which can help relieve the muscles, but it's not for every patient. It just depends. I kind of come up with a customized plan. And then the most important tool is the exercise. So I devise their own, a customized plan for that patient. And then they do their homework. And then when they come to see me, I usually see people like maybe once a week. And when they're in the office with me, we'll progress their program as appropriate. And then, the goal is to get them back to whatever it is they want to be doing. So it's kind of a general thing, but that's kind of in a nutshell what I do.
No, I love hearing all the different things that you are doing and customizing the plans for,
Yeah,
every patient. And that is just very, very valuable. So, Shaheen, where are you exactly located and how can people even reach you?
sure. So I'm actually, my practice is inside of a studio it's now called Strong Youth Fitness. However, I'm actually changing up my model in about a couple weeks or so, and I will be offering mobile services. So, so in home or office or on the tennis court, wherever, wherever that person wants me to meet them. So just to provide, more convenient options. Um, and then also I can do virtual or telehealth sessions too, which I've been doing more of during this time too. So that's been that's been good.
Yeah, that has been so great.
Yeah,
That's great. People love it when you can, be there, like also provide the mobile service. I think that's going to be such a valuable thing that you're offering. I think even especially for the elderly or, who
yeah,
cannot like easily like maybe come to you or drive or something, if you
right.
go and help them, I think that's going to be incredible. Um, that's great. And I think telehealth has just taken up, I don't know how many times, and has been so incredible. Like now that things are getting a little bit better, when patients schedule, um, of course, our office gives them an option in person or telemedicine. And so many people, want the telemedicine just for the convenience because, they can be home and still be able to consult with you. So that is fantastic that you are offering that. That's
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah, great. So, another difficult joint that people usually complain about,
yeah,
and right now when they delivered this, I thought about a friend who was having knee pain, and I thought maybe I could give a sample to see how that works. But I know there can be so many different causes, but because people who are active and like to run and all of that, and if they come across this knee pain,
yeah.
how would you be able to help them?
Sure. So again, it's after I'm assessing them, and we go through a pretty thorough movement screen and check like the strength and different. So a lot of times knee pain, it's stemming from somewhere else. Like there might be weakness in your hips or glutes. So after kind of determining the cause of that, it's kind of similar, coming up with the appropriate strengthening or stretching exercises. It's usually a lot of strengthening and stability. And then trying to help them, like if they're a runner, then doing exercises that are going to kind of mimic running to get them to that goal. So that's
Okay, great.
so I can figure, like through the testing and all, that's how we figure out like what's going on, if it's a ligament issue or like a meniscus, things like that. But so it just takes, it's through the assessment. And then, but really it's generally 9 times out of 10, it's a lack of strength somewhere that needs to be addressed. So yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, that's great information. I'm going to recommend this friend to come and see you,
Oh, thank you.
because
Thank
yeah,
you.
he runs the marathons and everything, and right now like he's like scrunching even if he moves. So
Oh no.
it's sad to see that kind of you
Yeah.
know pain, because that's such an important joint where all our weight is, similar to the ankles where, if there's an injury, it's so hard because it's our weight bearing joints, and
Yes.
it makes it very difficult. So, this is great information. And, when you mention like chronic conditions that you can help with, like
Yeah.
what kind of chronic conditions and who can, come to you for help?
Yeah. I've seen many people with like fibromyalgia. That's one. And then chronic, like rheumatoid arthritis. Um, what else? I think chronic back and neck pain is like very, very common. And just getting them, what happens is a lot of times people are just afraid to move because they feel like if they move or do exercise, it's going to make it worse. But actually, that's the thing that's going to help them. But that's where I can come in and guide them on which exercises are best for that condition. So, and like fibromyalgia, again, a lot of people may be reluctant to move, but actually it's been shown through research that exercise is actually the best thing for it. So, so yeah, those are some of the things that I've seen. But yeah, it's just I think just teaching people how to move properly and show them that strengthening and movement is going to help. So.
See, that's great because, yeah, as you just said, like chronic conditions like rheumatoid arthritis and fibromyalgia, I definitely see a lot in my practice as well. And, rheumatoid arthritis being an autoimmune condition, a lot of my patients who have the Hashimoto's thyroiditis, are
Yeah.
prone to like rheumatoid arthritis. And
Right.
so
Oh, that's
now I know who I can send them to as well, to have a more comprehensive care so they know, and they can be guided with your expert help as to what is good for them and how they should do things and all of that. So,
yeah.
absolutely. So, we have a lot of people joining, and I'm sorry, guys, I cannot keep track, but I do want to acknowledge there is a patient. Not a patient, I'm sorry, I say patient easily. A person is asking, how do we make an appointment? Uh,
uh,
yes.
yeah. So they can go to my website, and I mean, honestly, just you can call me or go to my website and fill out a form. So once I get that form, and then I'll help them schedule. So
That's great.
yeah,
What is your website, Shaheen? I'll try to put it down here if I can.
crossroadsopt.com.
Oh, Crossroads,
Yeah.
OPT.com.
Yeah, exactly.
Crossroadsopt.com. Guys, you got that? So please visit that website.
Yeah,
And then
that's it. Yep.
Yeah, Ruchi is here, and that's great. Thank you, Ruchi. Yes, Amit is here, Socialist Mohit, Sejal, Tanna, Sid. Thank you everyone for joining. So, since we have Shaheen here, and if you are having aches and pains and things, please ask your questions because she is here and will help answer those for you.
Also, I we recently started a Facebook group called Fix Your Form, and people can join that. And I'm doing like a weekly, just a mini stretch session, so to help you get that like mobility throughout the day. So if oh, thank you, Ruchi. She wrote my number. That's perfect. Um, yeah,
Thank you. And yes, I love your group. So I'm a part of that group. It's called Fix Your Form. Is
yeah,
that right? Fix Your Form. So guys, on Facebook, find the group Fix Your Form and join that. Send in a request to join so Shaheen can approve that. And she does an incredible job, focusing on different areas and the stretches that you can do. You can get a break while you're working from home and join her on your mat or sitting up in a chair. Every time I see her, helping with stretches that may help your neck or your shoulders or your core, all the different things. And sometimes I love seeing your daughters joining you
yeah,
too. So that's wonderful to get the family involved in what we
yeah.
do, you know.
They it's good to get them moving for sure. So it's fun.
Yeah. Priya is saying thank you. My hubby needed all these tips.
Oh,
That's fantastic.
yes,
Yes, and Ruchi has also shared your group name there. Fix
perfect.
your form.
Awesome, awesome.
So,
Yeah, and
and then Amit is saying absolutely great session. He's thanking both of us. Really helpful. Thank you. And
nice.
let's see. So that is great. We really appreciate you guys spending the time here with us. And it's so wonderful, you know, to have Shaheen share all this. Bindia is saying thank you, ladies. Great info and reminders. Thank you so much, Bindia, for being here. Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
So, yeah. And let's see. Any other questions, guys?
Oh,
Oh, Ruchi is saying, you
yeah,
know, about some anti-inflammatory foods. Absolutely, Ruchi, so first of all, as Shaheen was saying, I talk about like a clean diet. So, what things cause inflammation typically are a few groups of foods, right? So, for some people, like dairy can be inflammatory, eggs can cause inflammation. And I'm not generalizing, not for everyone. Sometimes I do specific testing to find out what could cause inflammation, but I'm just giving the groups. Like certain kind of grains, like wheat, gluten can cause inflammation. Um, Soy can cause inflammation and corn.
mm,
Again, not for everybody, but these are groups that people can be sensitive to in general. But usually I say that, you know, don't eat processed foods. Anything that comes in a box or a can and things like that are usually highly processed. So it's best to have food in its natural form. Trying to stay away from like anything with white flour, unbleached flour. Sorry, I'm getting these messages, so I'm like swiping those away. Those kind of help. And avoiding excess sugar, try not to add any additional sugar, especially not like the processed sugars. If you do add sugars, use the natural kinds, like say the agave or maple syrup or raw honey. Those are some good things. If you want to cut back on the sugar intake and not have calories from sugar, you could use natural sweeteners like the stevia in your foods or drinks. So basically, try to remember to keep away from any processed foods, additional sugars. Those are highly um, inflammatory. And some things that I use as anti-inflammatories, use more turmeric in your diet, and I know in the Indian diet we do use a lot of it, but turmeric is considered highly anti-inflammatory. Ginger is anti-inflammatory. Those are great things for your body, for your joints. An herb that I use, the boswellia, is very anti-inflammatory, which is great for your joints. So those are some things that came to my mind. Um,
For the term,
yes.
do you recommend, because I get this asked a lot, do you recommend like the pill form, the turmeric pill?
So there are so many different forms available.
Yeah.
Best to get it in your food, but sometimes just that much may not be enough for a therapeutic effect. So, currently at home I have it in a liquid form, so it's more easily absorbed, but it comes in a form of a capsule. It comes in form of lozenges. So whatever method, you may like is fine.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And then we have Purvi asking about thoughts on keto diet.
Oh,
Uh, yeah, I can share my thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts too. Purvi, I generally recommend a balance of all the macronutrients. I'm not in favor of like suggesting like a high fat diet or a high protein diet or anything like that. But I think a balance of macronutrients, like having good carbs, some healthy fats, and good protein is very essential because we need all of this. So see, for example, I see a lot of patients with thyroid. So if I recommended like a very low carb diet, that would not help them because for the T3 hormone conversion, that carb intake is important. So I'm not saying like, eat like, too much of like a grain that may cause like glycemic problems. What I'm trying to say is maybe incorporate more healthier grains, mix them up, like, quinoa, amaranth, things like that. You can brown rice a little bit. It's always like the portion control. I always believe everything in moderation is good. Rather than an extreme of anything. So that is what I wanted to say. But would love to hear from you, Shaheen. What do you
oh.
think?
So I actually agree with you like fully on that. I know, so I'm not I don't know too much about keto, but from what people who have used it, they have gotten results. But I personally am just in favor of that balance, like you just mentioned. Everything you said, I would agree with that, and that's how I try to be, and try to avoid too much sugar and things, because as soon as I have too much, I can feel, things get inflamed, and especially after turning 40.
Yeah. I know that 40 is like a mark, things
Yeah.
definitely change in our bodies for sure. Yes. And then someone is asking us, Shazia is asking, do we need to have juices to detox, for example, wheatgrass juice? So, Shazia, that's a great question, and wheatgrass juice is great. But I want to say you don't only have to have juices while you're detoxing. Actually, detox does include clean eating, as well as cleaning your mind and everything. You're kind of cleansing, self-cleansing. But if you just keep drinking juices, and it's actually juiced and it's not like having the fiber, you may actually, suffer from constipation. That did happen to me. I tried like a 3-day plain juice, without any fiber, and I was severely constipated during that time. So I think food in its natural form. So if you're making, I would recommend more of a smoothie where you can put the foods in their uh, full whole form, right? Like the whole apple, say banana, berries, things like that. So that would actually be more helpful. You could add some healthy fats like, say, chia seeds and flax seeds. You can add like some good protein powder, or, you could add yogurt or some coconut milk, whatever you do. But having the foods in the full form, I think helps because it gives you the fiber, so your bowel function also helps. But clean eating, avoiding additional like sugars and other inflammatory foods we talked about
Yeah.
is good. Yeah. So, yes, let's see. So, thank you guys for joining. Thank you for all your questions. And if you have anything more you want to ask, please do. We have Shaheen here. So, people who are joining in later, Shaheen is a physical therapist practicing here in Chandler, and she's also providing mobile physical therapy services. You can also book sessions with her and do a telehealth consultation. So, you can work with her from anywhere and everywhere, all over the world. So that is fantastic. Thank you so much for everything that you are doing, Shaheen. Is there any last moment tips you want to share with our viewers?
Um, just just move. Just
Keep moving, yes, and stay active.
yeah,
Absolutely.
try to get activity in your life, and at least 30 minutes a day is great. It just helps your joints and your muscles, and it'll lead to uh, good health. So yeah, I would say that. Oh, Purvi, how to handle headache caused by the back pain? Oh, that's a very good question.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, yeah, we didn't actually touch on headaches, but that's something I'm seeing a lot of as well. But Purvi, so it a lot of times how I mentioned, like the muscles through here get really tight and they connect to the base of our skull, and that can actually compress on the nerves and send a headache. So one quick technique that I can actually show you that you can do on your own is you're going to place your fingers right at the base of your skull and just place some pressure there, and you push up, and that sometimes can actually help relieve that pain. Initially it may hurt, but as you hold there for like 30 seconds to a minute, it should feel better. The other thing is, I can help you with hands-on work. Of course, that's helpful, but keeping that neck mobile and stretching it can help a lot, as well as strengthening. So, like starting out with those chin tucks that I showed earlier. I don't know if you were on, but if you just start with that, that can help a ton, because that's going to start to strengthen those muscles that hold up our head. And that's that forward head posture and leaning forward, that can actually be a big cause for headaches. Um, so yeah, that's kind of how you can do some self treatment. I can show, if you want, I can show you some things like with a towel and things like that as well. But there's a lot of self treatment tools you can do for headaches. Um, and then again, like that, staying hydrated, that's huge. I think that's a big cause for headaches too. And then taking a break. If you're on the computer a lot, taking a break from the screen, maybe using those blue light glasses. I don't know how effective they are, but I got some for my kids, so I've heard they can be helpful. Um, so so those are some things. Let's see, SEMA Event Architects. Is a medicine ball a good option while sitting at desk? You mean like, oh, you mean like a ball? Oh, I think she means like the TheraBall, the big bouncy one. Yeah, that's actually a good point. Um, that's a good what do you call it, tool, because it can help you engage your core, and as you're sitting on the ball, it makes you use those muscles, so you may not end up with back pain. And the other thing is, actually, you can look into a standing desk. So again, it'll take the pressure off your discs and your neck and back, and it gives you a break from all that sitting. So those standing desks can be really useful.
So So with the standing desk, Shaheen, would they be like standing all day, or they can like move?
No, it's adjustable. So the
It's
one
adjustable.
I'm referring to, there are those, but I don't think you should stand all day either. Your body
Right.
needs a rest too. But yeah, if you place it on top of your desk and then it can elevate. I can actually post a link later if you'd like, to one that I would recommend. Um,
That
but
would be wonderful.
yeah,
Yes, thank you.
it's really good. I have a lot of my patients do that because it just takes pressure off the low back. And even when you're standing, you want to make sure you have good posture and not. I'll just show you real quick. So you want to make sure like you don't let your back like kind of sag too much. You want to make sure you're nice and upright when you're standing. So I'll have to demonstrate that nicely later. but but yeah, it's a great tool as well. So those are all things that can help. Let's see. Oh, Ruchi said, yeah, her son uses the big ball instead of the chair. I think that's awesome. Yeah, even my little ones are using the balls. Seema, I've been stacking boxes to create a standing desk. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's smart. So yeah, you don't need to purchase a stand-up desk. You can just stand even at your kitchen counter. I mean, really, it's just all about changing up your position every hour. So yeah,
Makes complete sense. Thank you. Yeah.
yeah,
So, changing position, movement, hydration, all of these things are so important. And you gave such wonderful tips today, and I love that you demonstrated them because that helps so we can put it into practice.
yeah.
So, yeah. Thank you, Shaheen, so much for spending your time with me. That is so valuable that you did.
Oh,
And help answer all these questions and for the amazing work that you do.
thank you,
So,
thank you.
yes, anybody who is having, aches, pains, need any help, please reach out to Shaheen. And yes, Sid is saying all your suggestions were very helpful, Shaheen.
Oh,
Thank you. So, that's great. Excellent. So thank you again and wishing you and everyone a wonderful weekend.
thank you for having me so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It was fun.
Thank you. It was.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye bye.